Hey everybody, Messy Video Game Dude here. And a couple of videos ago I actually showed a VHS pickups that I got. And I went ahead and this past week I watched all of the Rocky movies, including the original five and Rocky Balboa. And I got to thinking of how great of a story the whole Rocky story really is. It represents heart, determination, perseverance, just truly working hard to become a success. And Rocky literally went from being some guy in the ghettos of Philadelphia, the Kensington neighborhood, I believe, Kensington district. But he went from the bottom all the way to the world heavyweight championship in boxing. And that's because he was perseverant, because he was determined, because he was a hard fucking worker. Now, there are 6 Rocky movies in total in the complete movie series. The original 5 came out 16 years before the last movie, Rocky Balboa. Now, Rocky Balboa represents the everyman. What everybody wants to do in life. Be successful. And you know what? I got to thinking about the series. And there was just something that really bugged me. Everybody has their favorites. Everybody says part 4 is awesome because Drago and the montage training sequence in Russia. I personally like Rocky 3. But there's just one criticism that has always bugged me. But let's talk about the Rocky movies real quick. Now, in my opinion, there's one movie out of the series that doesn't get the credit that I feel it deserves. It's always been treated like a black sheep. And that's exactly what I'm here to talk about today. Rocky 5. In my opinion, this movie is not that bad. I don't know why people have a problem about it. Everybody says it's the worst one. Even Sylvester Stallone has said he's not very happy about it. But I think it complements the story very well. You just gotta take it as what it is. I mean, what can you do? He was brain damaged from several years of fighting. It makes sense, right? It's a sad story. The whole point of the story was Rocky moving on. But unfortunately, he had to go back to where he started. The whole thing came full circle. Like when people say don't burn your bridges because who you see going up is who you see coming down. And that's exactly what happened to Rocky. But what you don't get is the emotional story behind this film is that Rocky's coping with all the change. And he's stressed because he misses his manager Mickey, he misses Apollo, he misses boxing, he misses everything that he had when he became successful. He misses being the heavyweight champion. And on top of that, his relationship with his family, his wife, and his son are not going very great. Rocky's missing stuff in his life. He's missing the love. Everything that he loved and everything that just brought the best out in him is not going right. Now, that's why when Tommy Gunn enters the picture, Rocky's real quick to want to help this young guy out because it reminds him of him when he was starting out. And he figured that he can give back and contribute to the sport that he loved very much since he couldn't compete in. And the sad story is that Tommy Gunn, being brash, young, and arrogant, decided to take liberties, and once he won the heavyweight title, he just ditched Rocky. Now, the story in that is that the master and the student have conflict, and at the end, that's what makes the fight more important, is because Rocky steps down. He knows that he can't fight. That's why he doesn't accept a professional fight against Tommy Gunn. So he tries to be the bigger man and he walks off. Okay? Now get this. Everybody always complains, oh, there wasn't a fight, there wasn't a boxing fight. But in my opinion, the final fight of this movie was more epic because it was a real, honest to God street fight. It wasn't a boxing match. It wasn't a sanctioned match. It wasn't for a belt. It was for pride. Tommy Gunn had pride because he wanted to be the best. And unfortunately, to be the best, he had to beat Rocky. But Rocky was retired from boxing, and Rocky turned it down. So Tommy Gunn's ego was damaged because Rocky was the better man in the end. Now, not only was Rocky fighting for his pride or his career, he had to defend what he stood for. And in my opinion, in the series, Rocky represented that whole neighborhood, the Kensington district, and Philadelphia as a whole, as the spirit in the heart of the area. He busted his ass to make it to the top, and everybody in that area, in that final fight that surrounded the fight in the street, was rooting for him because he was their guy. He was the people's champion. And Tommy Gunn was challenging not just Rocky, but the whole part of that town, that whole bar. He disrespected that whole area since the first day he came in. And to me, that was a fight of honor. It was bigger than a boxing match, bigger than a title match. And that's why, in my opinion, the fight was more epic. And it was more rewarding at the end because he won the respect of his family back. He won the respect of the fans. It was shown on the TV station. And Rocky showed that he still had what it takes to fight for what's right, to fight the good fight, to stay strong. And he represented heart when he didn't have to. But he defended his honor. And that's what's more important than just fighting. And in my opinion, that's what makes this movie more special to me. I mean, of course there's certain things about it. It seems kind of rushed. It seems commercialized. It seems like they shouldn't have made a fifth one. But for what it's worth, this movie had a great message behind it. And it was just tainted because everybody's opinion to the previous movies. But if you just clear your mind and just look at the big picture, I think it really fit into the whole series. And that's why I defend it. So, next time you're watching Rocky 5, just look at it with an open mind and just think. Just look at it and what it's really about. Thanks.